I think it's awesome though to see how God really works and see the liveliness that comes out of people when we're all gathered, because God's word shows us that where two or three are gathered, His presence is definitely there. And something that was revealed to me even greater is how when you have a plan, that God sometimes disrupts that plan because of what He wants you to do instead. So I myself, when I was asked to prepare a devotional for you guys, I had a plan. And then literally about 5 minutes ago, it got completely tossed out the window. Because the gentleman, Mr. Whitaker, that was in here, he really kind of inspired me. It was a message that we heard not too long ago, talking about the last being first. And I think a lot of times people discredit where they are in life because they come up last or they come up later. And when it comes to the kingdom of God, there's no penalty for being last. There's no penalty for coming in a little late, as long as you're trying to get it right. And something that I really like to remind people, to inspire them, is that as long as you have breath in your body, you still have the ability to serve God, to give God your all, to wake up each day and kind of and reverence Him and really turn your mind to things above that are responsible for kingdom building. So just to give you a scriptural reference, Matthew 20, verse 16 says, "So the last will be first, and the first last." And if you don't know the context behind that, it's a story where Jesus is telling His followers about a man who was running a vineyard, and he had workers who started with him at the beginning of the day. And as the day progressed, more workers were looking for an opportunity to work. And they thought that they were counted out simply because they had came up last. They had came up after a bunch of other people. And the man offered them an opportunity to work. Jesus does that same thing for us. It doesn't matter what time you come in, as long as you have that desire to serve Him, to be in His presence, and to give Him your all. He has work for you to do in His kingdom. And then even better was at the end of the day, this man who had this vineyard said that, he had to settle his accounts. He had to pay everybody who had worked for him that day. And those individuals who had worked all day, they received their pay. And then there was people who had came up last. They received the same amount of pay that the people who had been working all day received. So, as you can imagine, because we live in a capitalistic society, there was an uproar where people felt like that wasn't fair. It wasn't right that these people who did not work all day got the same amount of pay. But what these people missed was that everyone was equal in this opportunity. Everyone in the kingdom of God is equal in that opportunity. It doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter where you come in. You're still going to get a prize when you decide to serve God. Amen. When you decide to completely surrender your life to Him, be the servant to the Most High Master, the God who is in control of everything and capable of anything beyond your wildest dreams and imaginations. That is when you will get the same rewards that someone who has been dedicating their whole life, because it is about that desire. It doesn't matter what time you decide to put to turn over and say, okay, we're going to do Jesus now. And a lot of people, they count themselves out because of their past. They say, I wasn't there. I mean, even for myself, I wasn't always there. And it took me a few times to get it right, but to keep chasing after God, to keep wanting that job, to keep wanting to serve that kingdom, you're going to get the same thing that those others have gotten. You're going to receive those same blessings that God has specifically for you, because it's for you. He will never count you out, no matter where you are in your life. So that's just what I want to remind people of. Always seek God, no matter where you are at. Don't forget about Him, because He has never, and He will never forget about you. God knows all His children, and He blesses us accordingly. And He works with us as we have that desire to work for Him. There's kingdom work to be done, And today, you know, I hope that this outreach was an opportunity that you see how kingdom work goes. And I don't care where you're at in your life, you can still do something. You could just tell somebody about the Lord, because that right there is fellowship. That right there is opening a door for someone else to receive the blessings and the payments that God has for them, even though they came in after you. So never count yourself out.
Amen. Amen.
So it's